Do you know what you're listening to?
You're listening to Thoughts of the Week.
Oh, how's that?
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Thoughts of the Week. And today, for this episode 22, I'm going to talk about the difference between the older woman and the younger man in regards to relationships, and more specifically in regards to controlling, all right? So, I'm going to speak on it. You guys get to hear my point of view, so let's check it out. Relationships where the woman is older than the man, all right? And briefly, I'm going to give you a brief situation that actually happened. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I want to get to the strategy on how to deal with things, or the advice or the options or option you can use to deal with it. Real brief, this couple, you have a female, the woman, she's the wife, she's 30 years old. The husband's about 23, 24, somewhere in that range. And they got into an argument. The argument was over the husband wanting to get a dog for their daughter for her birthday. Her birthday was coming up, and he wanted to get a dog for her birthday. I guess the daughter wanted a dog, so the husband, the dad, wanted to get the dog for the daughter. And for some reason, this caused an argument because the wife, again, like I said, she's 30, he's 23 or 24, somewhere around there. All right. She told him that it wasn't a good idea because she felt that no one would be able to take care of the dog because she would be at work, he would be at work, and the daughter would be in school. All right. And so she just felt it wouldn't be a good idea. Well, somewhere in the argument, the husband commented and said that, he's tired of her trying to control everything, right? And during the conversation, I was talking to the wife, and during the conversation, she was telling me some things and how he was acting, and it gave me a little bit more of a picture to see that maybe she has been trying to control things in the relationship. And a lot of times you get these situations where when the woman's older, they have a tendency to try to control things for whatever reason that might be. Sometimes they just think because they're older, then they're supposed to run things instead of thinking in a different manner, or being more tactical or diplomatic about the situation. And so what ended up happening, they got into a physical altercation. They end up having to go to jail, both of them. And before getting to jail, I was talking to the wife, and she was telling me these things. And I asked her, I said, well, do you think that you actually been trying to control a lot of stuff? Because it seems like for him to make a comment like that, apparently you've been doing it a lot, if not every time. And she kind of got quiet for a second and started thinking. And I guess she was being honest about it and was like, yeah, I think I probably have. And I said, well, have you ever thought about taking this approach? And because she was saying that a lot of times he makes these decisions and they don't, he doesn't make good decisions. So I was telling her, I said, well, have you ever thought about, or you can even try, I said, I don't know what your situation is going to be after this happened and you guys end up having to go to jail, and when y'all get out, I don't know what your relationship is going to be, but if you're going to stick it out, have you thought about, or would you try to consider looking at it from this point of view? And I told her, I said, well, if it seems like he's been making bad decisions and you're always shutting him down every time he tries to make one, I said, you're probably going to get that pushback after a while. It's just going to be some buildup within him, and it's going to take one good argument that's going to really set him off because he has this resentment of you always trying to take over. I had some other thoughts in my head that I wasn't going to say, I wasn't going to get into. And real quick, one of those things is that you have a tendency when you get males in their 20s that not really got that maturity level yet. And here you have a woman who's the wife, she's 30 years old. And he's, like I said, he's 23, 24. And not to say that all males in their 20s won't are mature or not, or immature, because you're going to have some, based on whatever reasons or circumstances, they are mature. They're mature than other 20-year-olds. But basically what I told her was this, getting back to this particular strategy or this particular piece of advice. I said, well, the next time he wants to make a decision about something, let the decision ride. You just go along with whatever decision he wants to make. And if it turns out bad, not bad to the point where it's detrimental to your lives, but if it's something that just didn't go like he expected, he just had the decision and wanted to run with it, let him run with it, and don't let him, like, in a sense, like you running things, but just go ride with whatever decision he wants to make. If it turns out bad or it didn't work out, he sees that. All right. Then the next time around, you go ahead and make, as the woman, maybe you can kind of go back and forth, vice versa. Take turns on decision making. I said eventually he'll see things. If things don't work out, he'll start learning how to get better about his decision making and what he needs to do to make the decision work out a little bit better, or even to be able to learn how to decide if that's the best decision or better. Is there a better decision to make on something or not? And at the same time, if you end up getting into another argument or something, you can always point out to him that he's made these decisions before on whatever the subject was or whatever situation was, and this is how it turned out. Or, hey, baby, look, you made this decision. This is how it turned out. But not to talk to him in such a way where you degrading him and you throwing jabs at him. Both of y'all need to talk to each other in a respectful manner, but to point these things out. So it doesn't look like you, as the woman, is always making the decision about everything, and you're not giving the man a chance to even see if the decision's going to work out good or if it's going to fail. You just shutting them down with the decisions. All right. So when I told her that, she got quiet for a second and was thinking and said, wow, I never really looked at it that way. And I said, yeah. So the next time, and I repeated myself, I said, the next time y'all have to make, I said, I don't know what your situation is going to be after this, but if y'all going to stick this out, the next time he wants to make a decision, ride with it. If it works out, cool, you're good. If it doesn't, that's cool too. Then you take turns making decisions. You roll with his decision, and then later on, if another decision comes about, somebody has to make a decision, just point out and say, hey, baby, let me get let me make this decision this time. You know, last time I rolled with what you wanted to do. Can we do it this way? Whatever that decision is, and for whatever reason, whatever the circumstance and situation is. And then I told her, just do it back and forth. So even if her decision doesn't pan out, she gets to see it, he sees it, and if they ever have to come back together, they can discuss that, but in a respectful manner. If it works out good, cool. If it doesn't, cool. But then you bounce back and forth. Let him ride with another decision. I keep saying let, but I don't mean it in a sense that you running things, but just when this man wants to make a decision on something, even if in your mind as the woman, you're the older woman, even if you might see something like, hey, I don't think that's gonna flow right, ride with it anyway. Just be aware, as long as it's not affecting your family life and your relationships with the daughter, or you and him, where it's detrimental to life and death, or you getting thrown out of a house as a family. If it doesn't affect that, let the decision, just roll with the decision. If it turns out good, again, like I said, cool. If not, that's cool too. It's a learning experience for him, and her, really. And like I said, they just go back and forth, vice versa. So I'm saying all this because I know there's couples out there that's just like that, where the woman is older and the male is younger, and they want to try to be the women want to take charge. I know that happens in relationships. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of you women are like that. Just keeping it real. And so don't take it personally, but a lot of women who are older try to run things until the things kind of change, that when both of the male and the female, or the man and woman, are up in age, even if the woman is still older, the male kind of catches up. And so sometimes you don't have that bad of a problem with the age difference. All right. So, but it still can happen even in older ages. All right. Some, older women can get stuck in their ways with certain things and try to play some little games. But when the male is a little bit older, up in age, they kind of see those games a little bit better and a little bit clearer, and not necessarily have to go for that type of game playing. But now, not saying about this about all women. So don't start getting on, trying to comment under the video and go crazy. My whole purpose for doing these type of videos is to give people strategies, whether, like I said, is in relationships or people's personal lives or their business lives, or people wanting to start businesses or whatever. I'm just here to give strategies, options, advice, tactics, best practices, tips, information. All right. So I felt like in my mind, people say their heart, but the heart doesn't think. The heart that beats is the mind. So in my mind, I was thinking that, hey, this is something I want to pass on to some couples. I think that bit of advice would really work. All right. So any of you women who are older than your man, whether you're in a dating relationship or a married relationship, kind of be respectful of the man and ride with some decisions that he wants to make. And then you try to talk with him on some decisions that you're going to make, you might have to make later on, and kind of do a vice versa thing. Okay, ride with his decision and then try to talk it out and see if you are willing to go ride with your decision as the woman on something else, and try to go back and forth. And like I said, for the younger male, it's going to give them some learning experience on how to make better decisions, and to kind of think of things through a little bit better if he has that type of problem. And then maybe you'll start feeling comfortable as a woman once he starts to see like he's improving his decision making skills. You might end up just riding with a lot of decisions he makes. All right. So that's my bit of advice for relationships in that particular situation where the woman is older, the male is younger. All right. So once again, I thank you guys for checking out the video. Keep checking out the channel, the YouTube channel, Facebook, all right, Instagram, for more videos like this coming pretty soon. All right. Anyway, I'm out, man. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for listening to and checking us out on Thoughts of the Week Soundcast. Some of y'all say podcast, but I'm going to call it Soundcast. But nevertheless, I thank you guys for checking us out. And be sure to check out another episode of Thoughts of the Week. Let me know what you think about this particular episode. Am I right? Am I wrong? Could I add some more stuff to it? Feel free to comment. If you want to email me in regards to this show, this episode, feel free to email me at norwoodmediavision@gmail.com. That's norwoodmediavision@gmail.com. And be sure, if you guys like the show, you like what you're listening to, you get value from it, be sure to support us at anchor.fm/norwoodmedia/support. That's anchor.fm/norwoodmedia/support. All right. I appreciate you guys for listening in and checking out the show. As always, the show is getting more and more listeners and viewers, and I definitely want to say thank you to all my listeners and to all my viewers. And with that being said, Thoughts of the Week, I'm out. Peace.